Hey everyone, this is Pallavi, and today I'm going to show the 15th game of the book, Logical Chess, Move by Move by Irving Chernev. This game was played between Alekhine and Poindle in a simultaneous event in Vienna in 1936. And the opening was Rui Lopez. Let's start. So White started with e4, controlling the center and making way for the bishop and the queen to come out, also controlling the d5 and f5 square. After this, black played e5. With this move, black is also controlling half of the center and also making way for his bishop and his queen to come out. Now white played knight to f3, developing the knight towards the center and also attacking the pawn on e5. Whenever possible, develop with a threat. Now black played knight to c6, developing towards the center and also protecting his pawn on e5. Now white played bishop to b5, the strongest move on the board. Here, this characterizes the Ruy Lopez opening, the most powerful of kingside openings. With this move, white strikes at the defender of the e5 pawn. Now black played knight to f6, develops and attacks the e4 pawn. Also, this is known as the Berlin defense of Ruy Lopez. Now white played short castle, putting his king into the safety and activates the h1 rook. Now, black played knight cross e4. Should black capture this pawn? Emanuel Lasker, who was a German chess player and a world chess champion for 27 years, from 1894 to 1921, had this view that when you are conscious not to have violated the rules laid down, you should accept the sacrifice of an important central pawn. If you do not, as a rule, the pawn which you have just rejected will become very troublesome to you. So here black captured knight cross e4, after which white played d4. Had white played rook to e1, then black can play knight to d6, then knight takes e5, bishop to e7, and it's equal. Black is now threatening to capture the bishop on b5, and also castle is just a move away. So after d4, this is stronger than rook e1. Black's d-pawn is double attacked. White's lines opened up for white's queen and dark squared bishop. So after this, black played knight to d6, attacking the b5 bishop here. Now alternate was bishop to e7, developing another piece instead of moving same piece twice in the opening. Black must not waste time holding on to the extra pawn, but should continue bringing his pieces into play. So after knight d6, white played d cross e5, initiating an attack. White temporarily offers a piece, but he can be sure of regaining it quickly. This is better than playing bishop to a4. Had white played bishop to a4, which gives black time to reply with e4 with good counterplay. So after d cross e5, and that's a good move, black played knight cross b5. With this move, the black knight has moved 4 times. Now that's not a good thing to do in the opening. Moving same piece twice in the opening, or moving same piece twice or more in the opening, is not a good idea. So after this, white played a4. White attacks the knight at once to recover the piece he lost. After this, black played knight to d6. Instead of knight to d6, black could also play knight to d4, knight b d4. White takes, black takes, white takes with the queen, and then d5. A better way of returning the piece as it frees his bishops. So after knight d6, a fifth move by the same knight. Now white captured pawn takes knight, e takes d6, captured the knight and opened up the e file for white's rook. After this, black captured with the bishop. Obviously not with the pawn. A forced recapture, but it also blocks the d pawn. But better than capturing with the c pawn, as it would make black's position even more cramped. So after bishop cross d6, The pawn on d7 is blocked. Now white played a good move. Knight g5. The idea of this move is to prevent black from castling. Now black played bishop to e7. Had black castled, then queen d3, threatening to checkmate on h7, and black has to play g6 and weaken the defensive pawn formation. Now, once the line of pawns gets disturbed, the king is vulnerable to direct attack. So that's why after bishop e7, the bishop attacks the knight and unblocks the d pawn. After this, white played another good move, queen h5. Now, if you look carefully, white's last two moves according to principles are violating opening principles. White started an attack without completing his development. White moved his knight twice to assist the queen in the attack, which the book says is premature. But why did Alekhine violate these principles? Well, black too played some reckless moves, like moving one knight 5 times in the opening. And the way to punish these lapses is to keep him occupied, face him with problems at every point, and give him no time to recover. If it requires unconventional moves to force weaknesses in his position, then play these unorthodox moves. Moves are good or bad by one standard only, their effect on the position at hand. So with the move queen h5, white is now threatening to checkmate at f7. Queen takes f7. So black played g6. Black cannot castle because of queen cross h7 and checkmate. Also, if black captures bishop takes g5, then bishop takes g5 attacks the queen, and the knight e7 only move, and then rook e1 wins a piece as a start. So after queen to h5, black played g6, saves the checkmate. Now white played queen h6. White anchors the queen on the square, which is no longer guarded by black's g-pawn, as the first step in controlling the dark squares. Now white is threatening to play queen g7, attacking the rook and threatening to checkmate on f7. So if black plays rook f8, then knight takes h7, wins the exchange, a rook for a knight. So that's what white is planning after queen h6. Now black played bishop to f8, preventing queen g7, also attacking the queen. Now after this, white played rook e1 check, forcing black to cramp his own position even more. Black played knight e7. Now at this point, white is having 3 active pieces, the rook, the knight and the queen, and black has none. Black does have a piece of his first rank, but it's pinned, the knight, which is pinned by the rook. So after this, white played knight to e4. Do you see what is white threatening right now? Yes, of course, a checkmate in one move. Knight f6 and it's a checkmate. So after knight e4, black played f5, making way for his king to come out. But why f5? Because had black captured bishop cross h6. Now pause and find checkmate in 2 moves. I hope you got it. Because it's very easy. Here, white can play knight f6 check, and then king f8, and then bishop takes h6. It's a checkmate, since the knight is controlling these 2 squares, and the bishop is giving check. So, that is why black cannot capture bishop cross h6. So here, if black plays knight f5, then knight f6, it's a double check and mate. So that's why black played f5. Now white played knight f6 check, making the black king come out of its position in the open. Only move king f7, and then white played queen h4. Since white's queen and knight both are under attack, so white played queen h4 and saving herself, also supporting the knight. Now black played bishop to g7, threatening to capture bishop takes f6. Another alternative was knight to g8. Pins the knight and strikes at it with two more pieces. The king was already attacking, so with the queen and knight is attacking the white knight. So it can be refuted by queen c4 check. And when king captures f6, then queen h4, and it's a skewer. g5 doesn't work because of bishop takes g5, king f7, and bishop takes queen. So after queen c4 check, if black plays king g7 and then knight e8 check, and black must give up his queen as there is no square for the black king, because this bishop is controlling over here and the knight is controlling, queen is controlling. So queen has to capture the knight and rook captures queen. White gains a queen. So that's why after queen h4, black played bishop to g7. Now white played bishop g5, developing and protecting the knight on f6. Also the knight has no flight square. So after this black played h6, threatening the knight again by hitting out at one of its defenders, the bishop. Now white played queen c4 check, a diversion as the check compels opponent to drop everything and save his king. Black played king f8. Had black played d5 and blocked the check, then knight takes d5, queen takes d5, and rook takes e7 check. When the king moves, white captures the queen. So that's why black played king to f8. Now white played a good move. Another good move, rook cross e7. The hallmark of an Alekhine combination is the kick at the end of a series of apparently harmless moves. White's threat is obvious. White is threatening to checkmate from queen f7. So now black played queen cross e7. Had black played king cross e7, then knight d5 check gains the queen. It's a double check. So after queen cross e7, white played knight h7 check. Discovered attack with check. Attacking the queen and giving check to the king. Black played rook cross h7 and then bishop takes queen, check, king takes bishop. Now white is clearly winning. White played queen cross c7. Black's queen side pieces are immobilized. Black played bishop cross b2. Black makes trouble. He takes a pawn and attacks the rook. Now white played rook a2, attacking the bishop. Black played bishop f6. The bishop retreats to safety. Now white played another good move, c4. Clears the way for the rook so that it can get to the e file. Black played king to f7. The king flees from the line of fire. White played rook e2. Seizes the open file with the rook. Black played rook h8. Planning to play bishop d8 so that it can get rid of the queen. Now white played queen d6. Another good move, blocking the d pawn which paralyzes black's pieces on the queen side. Now black played a5. Idea is to follow up with rook a6 and then attack the queen and get his queenside pieces rolling. White played knight c3. Another excellent move. White brings another piece up to join the attack. Black played rook a6. Had black captured bishop takes c3 and then rook e7 check, king f8, rook cross d7 discovered check, king g8, queen e6 check, king f8 and queen f7 checkmate. So that's why black did not capture bishop cross c3. Instead he played rook a6, threatening the queen. White played queen d5 check, retreating and also gaining time by checking. Black played king g7. Had black played king f8, then knight b5, threatening knight d6. And here if black plays rook e6, then rook takes e6, pawn takes e6, queen c5 check, it's a double attack. And then black plays king f7, and then knight d6 check, gains a piece since it's a fork. And instead of king f7, If black plays king g7, then queen c7 check, king f8, queen cross c8 check gains a piece. So after queen d7 check, queen d5 check, black played king g7. And now white played knight b5. Idea, knight to d6 to support white queen, moving to f7 and checkmate. Now black played rook e6, blocks the diagonal. White played knight d6. The knight goes there anyway, settling down on a fine outpost. Black played rook d8. Had black captured rook cross e2, then queen f7 checkmate. So after rook d8, white played king f1, supporting the rook. And black resigned. White is winning by, let's say, knight cross c8, rook cross c8, queen cross d7 check, followed by taking a rook or 2. So after king f1, black resigned. I hope you enjoyed this game. So from this game, we learned some other basic principles, such as, first of all, occupy the center with pawns. Secondly, then develop your pieces towards the center. Try developing your pieces as quickly as possible. Castle as early as possible. Delaying castle is not a good idea. Whenever possible, develop with a threat. Do not move same piece twice or more in the opening. That's what black did in this game. Try to use most of your pieces while attacking. Get control of opponent's weakened squares. Occupy outposts as soon as possible. One way to punish opponent for not following the principles is to keep him occupied. Face him with problems at every point and give him no time to recover. I hope you enjoyed this game. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.